Welcome to the Frequency Network. Frequent, capital S, capital E, self-empowering experts giving you a self-empowering experience, sharing authentic connections about sound, light, energy, frequency, vibration, and most of all, love. There is nothing more authentic than being the love that you are. You are invited to join us in our freaky side of life, where you can change your frequency and upgrade your life. We are 4 generations of women empowering you to love your life even more. Here we flow.
We named this Reclaim Your Authorship. And some of the things that we're going to be talking about will be around that reclaiming your authorship. And that would be also about getting to know your body and all the things that happen in our world that are interconnecting and communicating with us and so many levels within ourselves. Hey, Josie.
I think maybe feeling confident and strong to share our, when I call it greatness, share our greatness, share our authenticity, share whatever it comes across as real, because it is real, REAL, and having that not be something that we particularly monitor or have judgment about those things, and just let it be.
Yeah. And does that reclaim our authorship? Josie, does that reclaim your authorship? Are you authoring that for yourself?
Yes, and lots of times you think, oh well, that's not important, or though that's something that is not. You judge it before you ever let it be known, and there might be just some really great jewels in there to share that you hadn't thought about that could be beneficial to someone else.
I appreciate that, Josie. That's sweet. Whenever I listen back, because I've been doing some of the editing, sometimes it's easy for me to be like, whoop, get rid of my part. Whoop. And it's easy to maybe dim your light because you're feeling vulnerable or something.
But with what Josie said, I think that does lead us into what we were kind of talking about, our fascial layer of our bodies, getting to know our bodies. And I've found out that they're really a big, huge communication center of interweaving and communicating with the muscles that they and organs and everything that they wrap and take care of. And they sit within, there's a whole water. The water has so much to do with those electrical, it's very electric as well within this water structure of our whole system. And so there was so much that's been brought forward since Kristen brought up a few Mondays ago on one of our podcasts that was something she was interested and had been learning some new things around the bioacoustics. Was it in bioacoustics or conscious language? All of the above, how much that layer brings so much information to us and life. And that's something I feel that we're going to bring in maybe a whole show on that specific thing, because it's so full of depth, and I wouldn't have thought of it as a show, but so much is showing up to say, hey, this is something that is really important for us to bring more awareness around, more knowledge, more understanding, and accepting the magnificence of who we are, and discovering those new parts of ourselves that are providing us so much care, so much love, so much, wrapping us up and hugging us to keep us, supported, is what I'm feeling about this. When we have that opportunity to speak about the fascial layer. And I was speaking about Beta Austin. I was taking a course that I had with her, And during that course they talked about water and the fascial layer and the whole emotions around that whole thing. And then again, with the medical device that I work with, and blood flow, vascular therapy and everything, they've been talking a lot about the fascial layer and water as well, from Dr. Gerald Pollack's point of view. And then Kristen, you brought up, where was your point when you were bringing up your fascination around the fascia coming in?
It was through conscious language, and I had made the connection, as within, so without, or as above, so below. And our face in conscious language is how we show the world how we feel. It's our skin, like we pick up the electrical currents from our outer world. When we feel embarrassed, we show it on our face. Our cheeks get a little red. A lot of the emotions we will show on our face through the lines, through sometimes anger. Your ears will get red, and just different things, showcasing our feelings. Well, I was just thinking about how face and fascia are so connected, just the word, and how our fascia system is the within aspect of the face. Face shows our world how we feel. Our fascia is telling us what we're feeling on our inner world, about our security. Just like you talked about, it's intertwining and it's wrapping around every organ and muscle. It's our protection. It's keeping our whole body together. And when we experience a trauma or a blunt force or something like that, we'll get knots in our fascia, and it'll tend to just stop the flow of movement and the flow of the hyaluronic acid, that the structured water that's inside of it, that nourishes and keeps our body in that fluid state of movement. And what I found is, especially massage therapists, they will know that in the fascia that there's deep-seated trauma. And so it's on a very inner level. And that's when I was like, oh, the fascia is literally how we show what we feel to our body, ourself, inner, and our face is showing outer. And that's basically the connection that I've been really working with, and utilizing conscious language to allow my fascia to flow and create movement. So I've been speaking a lot of the words centered around security. I am secure in my flow. I am secure in my movement. I am secure in my life. Just really grounding myself in how I feel deeply. Full stop. Period. Exclamation point.
Oh, I love all that you just shared. And it brings up, hey, let's just have that conversation now. Because it is flowing. It is flowing. Gosh, when you started talking about the face, all of a sudden, if you saw me, I was, scratching my nose. And
I can, I will.
In here. I'm like, whoa, here we go. And then you also brought up the water, component in there. And one of the things I say to myself all the time, to know that I am in this perfection with my life, is I am safe, secure, supported, valued, and loved. Those 5 things I say to people, if you have those 5, what would we call those? Characteristics, traits?
Virtues, yeah.
Virtues. I think those would be virtues. You have those 5 virtues to be safe, secure, supported, valued, and loved. What would that mean if you had those 5 things? They were all a part of you. You felt so good. You felt valued, secure. Oh, wow. That's how I live daily. And it feels so, and I love that we're bringing that information on how to how to be there. I think that's, learning and teaching around what just came forward right now around the fascia. Okay, around our author. I mean, this is authorship, because our bodies, our very being, we're the ones authoring whether we're safe, secure, supported, valued, and loved. Do we sit here and go, I'll be those 5 things, or one of those, maybe 2 of them, when I'll feel that when I complete this, or when I do that, or when, I hear so many people putting everything on the back burner. What are they waiting for?
I think a lot of times you're waiting a stamp of approval. I'm just talking about a stamp of approval. Sometimes we hesitate to, to I guess, for lack of a better word, publish or be speak what our thoughts. We judge them. I'm talking about the same thing as I did before, but it's about being approved. And there's a Better Business Bureau has an organization that you send your product to, and they give it a stamp of approval. They judge it according to what you've described it as being, and whatever its worth is to the marketing uh, marketing public. And it could be this. We could feel the same way about our published words or our shared words or shared wisdom, we might say. We could say the same thing about that. So whenever you feel confident, like you were talking about your values and all of the things that you feel you live by, live by, if those all are addressed, then those things don't have to have an official stamp of approval. It's we've all studied so much, and we all have a lot of wisdom to share and a perspective from our different ages. And to be hesitant about that being put out there. Not saying that we are. I'm just saying that a lot of times I feel like when I'm in a group, oh, well, that's not important, or oh, maybe I better be sure that I get the verification on whether that's really true or not. And certainly you want to express true things to other people, but obviously you think it's true or you wouldn't be expressing it. It doesn't make it right, but it's, I don't know, maybe other people don't feel that hesitance, but sometimes I do in a group, thinking, going through all your values and whether you're really the person that can contribute that piece of information. Do you have it? Is it authentic? I don't know. Maybe you guys don't feel that way, but I've had that experience.
Yeah, I think that it's easy to feel vulnerable just speaking your mind and how it will be well received or by who. And it's just an interesting like psychology behind how we judge ourselves for no reason sometimes. And that is the opposite. I think it's like fear based, probably, right? Would be the opposite of all those virtues that you were saying, like secure and safe and supported and valued and loved. It's like fear is the opposite of all of that.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Well said. Well said. And I really believe I'm alive in that. Yes. Um, when we are talking about our fascial layer that supports us, that, whew, when that's an emotional thing to how we feel about ourselves. and the fear that comes in that maybe we're not going to be well received, or, you know, to be ourselves. Are we safe in being ourselves? And as you've all heard me say, self is the acronym for source energy, love, frequency. If we all knew that that's what we are, we would absolutely feel safe, secure, supported, valued, and loved. Right? Love and love.